Since I bought this house, there's always been this medicine cabinet on the wall that's been, actually, it kind of sticks out, it's kind of ugly. I figure I could do better, and I would like to try to recess it behind it. So after removing it, I ended up finding this, a hole cut out of the drywall. I do see some 2x6s, so I'm thinking what I could do is recess a shelf inside of this, or a medicine cabinet. And this is what my project is. Now I do have the mirror and the door from the original, so if I could utilize that, that would be great. Okay, so now that I got my dimensions, I'm going to take my little framing square here and measure out my 14.5 by 21. I think making a full-size pattern helps out a lot. Okay, so instead of building it from scratch, I found that I can cut the original one down to size, as wide so it can fit between the studs. I've got all the hardware already pre-assembled on there from when it was the original medicine cabinet. For the backing, instead of using that particle board, I cut a nice piece of oak plywood, and then that'll be the backing. And then after that, we just got to make a front. I'm going to use the same mirror that I had from the original one, but I'll make a frame, just a simple cabinet door for the front of it. Alright, so I got my stacked dado head blade in there, and I'm going to cut out the rabbets so that I can fit the oak plywood in it. Alright, I got a simple door I made here, and I rabbited out the edges. I pre-cut the holes for the fasteners, and I'm using pocket holes, which is unpopular for some people. Alright, so I was able to get the door done. I just still have to put the insert in there, but I thought this was a perfect time to go ahead and put the back on it. Now the back, I just used this oak plywood, 1/4 inch, and it's amazing how nice it looks when you just do linseed oil on it. So I'm going to just go ahead and attach this here. So that looks much better on the inside. Alright, there's the front door all assembled. Okay, there it is, just roughed into the spot. I still got to trim it out, put the front door on and the shelves, but at least you can kind of get an idea. It's not going to stick out like 4 inches like it was before. You know, sometimes projects just change. In the middle of the project, I'm done with my front door. I've got my box all ready to be installed. It fits perfectly in there. I go to the store because I need to get a piece of mirror, or glass or mirror that will fit in the front, because it's going to be a medicine cabinet. So as I get to the Home Depot to buy a 14 by 20 piece of mirror, it ends up being about 20 bucks. And when the person asked, well, what was I doing? I said I was in the process of building a medicine cabinet. He said, oh, hold on, wait a minute. We've got an open box. We got one for $35 that I'll sell you for 20 bucks because it's an open box. So I've been building this and came home with a nice solid steel construction with a beautiful mirror. And I said, well, great, this is perfect. I said, I'm in the middle of making one. I really wanted to use the one I made. The problem that lies is you have to recess this between the studs, and my studs are probably an inch wider than they need to be. So I said, well, I'll need to shim this out a little bit for this to fit. I found that the original cabinet that I made that fits in the spot perfectly right between the studs if I take this cabinet, lay it down, throw my shim in there, actually the new medicine cabinet fits perfectly inside the old cabinet. Here's the old cabinet, and this fits perfectly in between the studs, and this just happens to fit perfectly inside that. So now it is actually perfectly shimmed up. Alright, so I've got the hole all prepped. I actually sanded this down and spackled it, put some joint compound and painted it. You won't see a lot of that, but at least it looks nice, and let's get it in the wall.
Now it's time for our wrap-up. Let's give it everything we've got.
I guess it's time for the wrap-up. We got it on the wall. Everything seems to be secure, and I screwed into the studs. I was happy because the cabinet only comes out just, geez, not even 2 inches off of the wall, where the last one was almost a full 4.5 to 5 inches off of the wall. It was 5 inches with the molding. But this came out really well, and it wasn't 100% woodworking, but I did get to add in this little bonus shelf underneath. I had this space that I was going to cover over, but I decided to frame it out, so I've got a place for some extra toothbrushes, and the medicine cabinet's filled, and you know how it should be without this. This is a portable scalpel. Well, a disposable scalpel, but anyways, for the woodworker, it's important. But I hope you enjoyed it, and if you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you would, and thanks again, and we'll see you on the flip side.